That's why they have it.
Nothing into something I work hard than I play. I be chillin', but I'm business, call me boss lady. Don't be jealous, my hustle, cause I'm killing all day. I be flexing my muscles, I don't care what they say. See the watch, see the Benz, I could spend my money. So much dough, so much bread, I could have a bakery. Watch out, I'm in my zone, and need the microphone. They say when in Rome. Yep. Me and my crew, although we made it past, we on top. We keep on pushing, bars are raising. We don't stop, no one can replicate the magic that we unlock. Cause we on top. Put your hands up in the air, 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 put your hands up in the air.
Hey, good morning. Buenos dias. Woo! We're on. We're live. Buenos dias, everyone. Muchas gracias for joining us today. Today I have.
Can you guys see me? Can y'all see
me?
me? Oh.
Oh
there's
my
a little bit of a
God.
lag.
We're like a little behind. Okay, we're like 10 minutes behind, so like give us a chance. But I'm excited today. I have Diana Valtierra, and I'm so excited to have her here because one, I strive to be like her one day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But not only that, she became like somebody really, really close to me, and I am so grateful. Gracias for all your advice and guidance, honestly. Sometimes she can be a little rough, okay? But it's okay. We need people like that in our lives.
Sorry. Sorry. I mean well.
No. I, on the contrary, yo te lo agradezco. A mí me encanta. I like people to keep it real. Like, what's the point of somebody sugarcoating, like, y después no te dicen la verdad, and then you over here walking around like crazy.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Mientras que otra gente might find that hardcore, to me, I'm grateful for it. So, muchas gracias. All right, guys. So, ¿dónde empezamos contigo? Because you're all over the place.
I know, I am.
¿Cómo te presentamos? ¿Como Diana o la víctima?
Diana. Diana, right? AKA víctima.
Right?
Yeah. Well, La Víctima actually came for like my clientele, like for the patients who are victimas of auto accidents. And then little by little, people just started kind of referring to me as La Víctima, which is it's not a good thing, right? Because I don't want to play the part of a victim, but that was mainly for the patients. But it's just something that's just stuck to me now, and I'm like, I'm la víctima now, I guess. Everybody
But
knows.
you know what? I think that's what makes you vulnerable, ¿no? Para que la gente like quiera like hablar contigo, like se sienten más cómodos para hablar contigo, like, okay, you're not acting like you know everything. Is like, hey, I'm a victim too. Like, talk to me. I can walk you through the process. You know?
Yeah. I think I've come across that.
Yeah.
Here and there, where patients are more relatable because stuff that we've all gone through the same things, and I'm able to walk them through these processes of their claims and their injuries, and if they need attorneys. We just have a network of people that we work with, and sometimes a lot of the patients, especially like the Spanish speaking patients, they don't know what to do, where to go, how to start, so they just leave. They'll get injured in an accident and they won't do anything because they don't know where to go, who to call. And then a lot of the times they feel like, oh, these attorneys, I don't know if I can trust them. So then they come to me and I explain the process, and I'm like, look, let's just get your injuries taken care of. In the meantime, you can start interviewing attorneys and pick whoever you feel comfortable with,
No, and I'm actually una víctima. No, and I loved it because you truly did walk us through the whole process. We had never experienced anything like this before. Y no sabíamos ni dónde empezar, pero it was like, we called you, let you know. And it wasn't because, at that time, we weren't even close, okay, guys? So I just let her know, hey, this just happened. She's like, all right, let's get on it. And you moved everything, did everything for us, and took care of the whole process. And right now, we're about to get our payout. So,
good.
This is what happens when you deal with Diana. Like, she really does take care of you. I feel like you genuinely care. Like,
Yeah.
really,
And I always tell people that I think the difference between myself and a lot of people is I feel like I'm more driven by the passion of wanting to help people,
Yeah.
versus just like, oh, this is a paycheck or we're going to get paid. Like, to me, it's more like I want to take care of them. I want you to come back. I want you to refer people to me because I was able to help you. And,
exactly.
so I think that's what
Like the word of
ultimately,
mouth.
yeah, keeps us going.
Well, we have Vanessa. She said, "Good morning, beautiful ladies." We have Nettie, which said, "Good morning,
Hello.
girlies." And then Nettie said, "We love her no filter. We know she's real and we love her." Maida said, "Good morning, ladies. Showers of blessings your way."
Thank you, Maida.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. So I want to know your humble beginnings, and I just genuinely love your mom because of what you have expressed to us. So I kind of want you to break it down. I know that might be a little bit personal, but you talk about her, and that had like, it feels like she's our mom, like you talk about how she guided you, the goodness in her and stuff like that, and I just want to give her credit for that, like,
Oh, thank
because
you.
you lived through her, like you genuinely
Yeah.
bring that personality to life. And so rest in peace, she's no longer with us, but she lives through you and we feel her here. So I just want you to understand that you definitely are living her legacy. So muchas
Yeah,
gracias for that.
I totally agree. I mean, that's who I like, strive to be. I don't know where I need to look. I'm like here, I'm here, I'm looking over here.
Te mira el puntito rojo.
Oh, okay. Like, so yeah, I think growing up my mom was more concerned about, helping other people, feeding other people. And it's just something that was embedded in me at just an early age. I went to Christian school my whole life, and we were so involved with church. And I think ultimately that's just where this all came from, like wanting to help everybody. Like, that's just been second nature to me since I was little.
Yeah.
My mom was just a very giving person. She would help everybody. And, growing up and seeing that, I'd be like, God, mom, like, you can't save the world. So now my kids tell me that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm turning into my mother, which is not a bad thing. It just, sometimes it's hard because people do take advantage of that.
Yeah.
They take advantage that you are willing to help, you are ready to help, and it's just you have to learn how to weed out the
But
people.
I think that's the good part, because like you take all the good stuff that she taught you,
Yes,
pero tú
absolutely.
le agregas your side, which
Yeah.
we know. Don't mess with Diana, okay? She's from LA, if you don't know.
Yes, born and raised. But
Vanessa says yes. I'm fascinated every time she speaks of her mom to us.
yeah, my mom was very she was very loving, very humble, very caring, nurturing, very giving, but at the same time she was very stern. She was very tough. She was a tough mom. We were raised on tough love. um I always feel like my mom was like a Maria Felix. Like, there was this elegance about her. There was just this beautiful soul that she had, and I think that people were able to see that. She was just such a great person. And it's been 15 years since I've lost my mom, and there's not like one day that goes by that I don't talk about her. People tell me like, yeah, they're like, Diana, like, I'd love to meet your mom one day, you should bring her. And I'm like, she's not here with us anymore. And people are like, but you talk about her like she's here, like you're gonna go meet with her. And I'm like, I love keeping her memory alive, because if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be the person that I am
You
today.
genuinely are, yeah. No, I completely. I didn't know it was that long.
Yes.
I mean, the other day we broke it down because of your age, so now I'm like breaking that down.
Hold on.
We're not gonna talk about her age, okay? But it's those things, like you really do express like she's still alive, and you move around her legacy, and ella tenía su propio negocio.
Yes.
Pero no fue algo que you took over.
No. But I did take over her hustle, because she owned a dry cleaning business, and so they specialized in wedding dresses, cowboy hats, suede and leather. So my mom was constantly handing out business cards. So she's like, come on, let's go get business cards out there. And so the marketing side of like that I have now came from her, like her hustle. I mean, I was young, and she's like, "Go give them a business card and tell them if they need me to clean their jackets." And I'm like, "Hey, my mom
And
cleans
that's what
jackets."
drew me to her. Her marketing, oh my God, is on point, girl.
Yeah.
Like, you got that locked
But it's
down.
been like from when I was a child. Like I was little, going with my dad to the swap meet to set up and sell little toys that he would buy, and we just sit there all day. My aunts all sold raspas or something like at the swap meets. My mom, even though she didn't have to work, my mom was like stay at home mom for years when I was little. Didn't have to work, but yet she sold plates of food to the neighbors to make money to pay, like help my dad out with some of the
Yeah.
bills. So it was just seeing that growing up. I was like, that's all I've ever been around. It's
Yeah.
just hustling and getting out
So
there
you
and
got
meeting people.
You got experience.
Yeah, so I'm like, yes, I got the marketing part down, So, and that's such a great thing to have, I'd say,
Yeah.
because not a lot of people have it. There's people who are in sales, but they're like the worst salesperson, and you're like, you buy from them because you're like, oh my God, I just give me, what are you selling? Just give it to me so you can shut up. But then there's people who sell stuff to you, and you're like, oh, you genuinely feel like, I didn't even need this gadget, but I bought it because this
Yeah.
person is a great salesperson. And I think I have a little bit of both. I'm able to sell people on what it is that I'm doing, but they genuinely feel like, they don't feel like, oh, she just came and scammed me. So,
No.
and that's my goal. I want to make people feel like, hey,
Well,
she's
from
here
you
to help.
to your staff to the people that you're connected and you work with, y'all genuinely make it feel like you actually care, and it's not just another,
Yeah,
game,
a sales
another-
pitch.
yeah.
And that's the
No.
goal.
So you definitely got that one in
Thank you.
lockdown. There's just so much to touch on, so I'm trying to like figure out what I want to touch on today. But okay, so ¿cómo empezó Vista Chiropractic? Like, what got you into it?
Well, I was doing marketing for years. And one day I was like, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. It was one of the hardest things I had to do because I didn't know if it was going to work out. One day I came in the office, I said, I'm leaving. If you guys want to come with me, you guys are more than welcome to come. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I can't promise you anything, and I can't guarantee anything. I'm just going to take this leap of faith because this is something my heart is telling me to do. And I just kind of wanted to part ways with everybody and see if I can do it on my own. And it'll be 4 years in February. So I'm super excited that I did take that leap of faith. And, I've read memes where they say, I hope God blesses my pocket so I can bless other people. And I feel like I'm getting there now,
Yeah.
even though I don't have a lot, but the little bit I do have, I've been able to help other people in need and help people with jobs. Even some of my doctors, who have been struggling, they've come in, they've helped me out. They feel that I can fill their schedule, and I'm like, thank God that I have, that I'm able to do that for them. When they're struggling, they come with me. We try to figure out a game plan, not just for my office, but for theirs as well. So I try to help out as much as I can, So it's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And that's how it's been for the last few years. And I'm just so grateful that I have had great people come with me. I've had wonderful doctors that have helped me out throughout my years, and some are still there. And it's just, I look forward to continuing to grow my business.
I see that. I mean, to one day just taking that leap, and guys, that's just entrepreneurship. Okay, you gotta take that risk. That's the hardest part.
Yes.
Once you jump that, then you depend on yourself. You learn to depend on
Yeah.
yourself. But she talks about it, and this is something that we're starting to hear a lot, how people collaborate with other people. But then it's like, now you have opportunities to offer.
Yes.
So you become someone's blessing. Like,
Yeah.
like hay gente que está praying for this,
Mhm.
and you're the one that's able to give this opportunity.
And not just that, but like the fact that even though they have their offices, like they can easily be like, well, she's my competition. Why would I help
Right.
her? And the fact that they don't look at me as competition. They're like, you know what? I'll help her out. And it just becomes just such a great move on everybody's end, because now you're helping me, but I'm helping you, and we're bringing business into both locations. Now your office is picking up. and meanwhile you're helping me grow mine. So I think it's just like just great teamwork all the way around,
And this is someone that comes talking from attorneys, doctors, que se supone que ellos, they would have it in lockdown, but here you are creating an atmosphere of I can work with them too.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
we can all win out of
Mhm.
this situation.
Yeah.
And there's no competition on that.
No,
So-
no.
Guys, don't sit here and try to push one another down, because honestly, at the end of the day, sale más mejor when we work together and we unite. So you're 4 years in, it's up and running. You got 2 locations, right?
Yes. And so we're working on a third location. So right now that's in talks. We're not sure if it's going to be in Garland or Oak Cliff, but we've been kind of checking out locations just to see what's, what'll be more convenient for us. But yeah, the third location is in the works, and we're hoping to have it up and running maybe by March.
Wow.
I'm hoping.
So 2025 already, ahí viene
Yes.
Diana corriendo.
Yes.
La víctima running to the third location, guys. But this is what we're talking about. Like, the hustle's real. You grind every
Yes.
day. You get up. You don't make excuses. And here you are opening your third location. What is the best way that people can contact you? And in what scenarios would you state for people que se acuerden de ti?
I would. Well, we worked really hard on La Víctima. It was something that was very well thought out, because we were trying to figure out how we can get patients to associate or remember us. And, typically auto accident people always feel like they're not at fault no matter what happens. I
Yeah.
talk to so many people and they're like, well, this person slowed down all of a sudden and he braked, so I hit him, but it's not my fault. But then I'm like, I start explaining to them how the process works. So then I'm like, man, the more and more people I talk to, the more I'm starting to realize and notice that they feel like they're the victim. So it was something that it took us a while to get going. Once we got it, we locked it in. I got lavictima.com, which that's super easy to remember. So
Yes.
people can just go on there, fill out a quick little questionnaire, sends it to my email. I can contact them. And then 214 Victima, which is an actual working number.
Wow.
So it's just, how do you not, remember that? So I've met people like at the mall and I talk to them. I've had people, email me and I'm like, oh, hey, Diana, I met you at the mall. I was in an auto accident. I'm like, wow, this really works. So I think you have to kind of brand yourself in a way where people are going to remember. Some people just want to start their little business and they're just like, oh, this is what we do. But I think if you're consistently talking about your slogan, your
Yeah.
your name, how you branded it, people are gonna remember that.
And that concept, like, como te digo, at first, like, you're like, well, I don't want to be known as the victim, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we are a victim, right? But the
Mhm.
goal is to not have you be the victim, right?
Yes.
Like, como te, pero acuérdate, like, in that moment, you feel so fragile. You're like, my car is totaled,
Yeah.
it's totaled. My insurance, I don't know what to do with them. Like, who do I talk to? What attorneys? Attorneys
Mhm.
are always after my money. Like, I don't know them.
Yes.
But here you can genuinely get to know someone, which gets me to the next point. TikTok famous, up and coming influencer, okay? No. Real talk. Right now it
Okay.
feels like I have a celebrity here
Oh.
because I genuinely see you blast this off. Pero me encanta porque we get to know your personality.
Yes.
So, like, we know she's business, she's professional, she's 100. Pero at the same time, when you go to her TikTok, you get to see her day to day. And she has a whole personality que me encanta. I mean, like, you're like,
Oh my God. And I just, honestly.
Hashtag pinche
Pinche Javi. I think that it's an outlet, I think because I deal with so much and it's just this, when I'm at work, it's like I have to be work and delegate and
Yeah.
talk to my girls and talk to the doctor about just different things. And I think that that's like, just when I get home and I can do TikToks, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can really just be myself, and I don't have to keep playing this role that, I don't always want to take on this role of just being like an authority figure when I get to my office and people are like, oh my God, here comes Diana.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
don't want that. I want people, when I get to my office, I love my staff, I love my doctors. I'm constantly planning stuff with us. um, I'm planning our Christmas lunch, which I should have done a while back, but I try to keep my staff as comfortable as possible, so I'm not sitting there constantly looking for new people to come in and join our
Right,
team,
right.
um, and so that can be a headache sometimes too, because you can't be too nice and then you can't be too stern, because so you
You have
have
to
to find,
balance. Yeah.
the perfect balance, and it's not that easy. It's not that easy to
She's
do.
a victim right now. So Nina says, "Good morning, beautiful ladies. You two are definitely a blessing to know, and such sweet women. That's amazing. Congratulations, Diana."
Thank you.
Diamantina says, "Hello, the Dan and Real Show, and guest. Shout out to this beautiful lady, guys. Honestly, I'm telling you, her hustle is so good that she has grown. She's actually, I feel like you perfected it to the point that now you can have people learn from you, and your TikToks really, really like genuinely bring your personality, which make people feel more close to you. They can message you, they can contact you, and if y'all didn't
Yeah.
catch that, 214 Víctima is an actual phone number.
Yes.
So look out for that. If you're in a car accident or anything like that, and you're like, "Hey, what do I do?" That's the number you dial. So
Yes. Yes.
recuérdenselo.
Yes.
All right, so Diana, what are the upcoming plans? We already know you're getting a third location. Do you have events that you do? Because she does do a lot for the community.
I try to collaborate with different people in the community. We The last few that we did was with the elementary school and the boxing gym that's across the street from my office, and I'm looking forward to doing more with the school. So now I'm trying to get a little bit more involved, for the kids and stuff like that. Um, but other than that, I mean, I don't plan on doing.
The rest of the year, you're done.
I'm done for the year. I think Halloween, like the month of October, really did a lot. Like we did a lot. We had like, I think like 5 events, and it was just like back to back to back. And I'm like, I'm exhausted. And a lot of the things that I do are pretty much like on my own, so it takes a toll. Like on me and Javi, we're loading up, unloading, setting up. And then I'm very ADHD, so like I don't want to have anything in my car. So the event's over, even if it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night, we're putting everything away. I'm like, let's, so yeah, that takes a lot. But I mean, overall, I'm so excited because we've met so many great people, yeah, like yourself. I'm just so happy that I talk to a lot of people about you, and I'm like, this is what it is to, when they say like started from the bottom, now we're here, like this is the definition of that. So I'm just so excited that you're able to bring people together and collaborate and network and just make those connections, because I've met great people.
I don't want to have people struggle the way I did. Like, I would have freaking loved to have known you from day one and have somebody be like, "Man, cambia esto, cambia lo otro, mira, like this."
Yeah.
Like, but no, people don't do that. And I don't understand why. Like, why can't we not be blunt about things? And that's what this show is. Because I was so tired of like, okay, you know what? Let's get down and real. Like, I don't need all that fake stuff. I don't need, like, "Oh, see, you're doing such a good job, great, call it a day." And then at the end of the day, you're messing up here and there. Like, one of the things that she told me, she's like, there's no clarity on what it is that you do, which was so 100%. So she was like, you need to clear this up. But nobody had told me that. Like, no one was like real enough to tell me that. So like, I cleared up my stuff, kind of fixed it up. Okay, this is what I want to do here. This is where I want to advertise there. And yeah, it worked. Like, even for myself, because I felt so cluttered as well. And I'm still working on it. Like, there's still stuff that I want to like clear up. Pero that's the type of advice, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be grateful for that feedback. You gotta be grateful for that. And so if I can bring all those gentes that I know are like that, and we can put you in front of everybody, hey, let's do this.
I don't think a lot of people do too well, even if you are being even if you are offering constructive criticism, a lot of the times people don't know, how to take that. So they're like, "Ooh, I don't like that because she's a little bit too straightforward for me." But they don't know, like, you mean well, like
Yeah.
I have a friend who had a boutique, and one day I went over to see her, and she was really sick. I don't remember what was going on, but I had gone to go pick up an order, and she was just kind of like, "Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with me, like my blood pressure." And I was like, "Girl," I was like, "Let me go get you some sugar. I'll go get you some shakes, a shake." So then I sat there with her for a few minutes, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, if I walked past here, like, I wouldn't know this is a boutique. She's like, "Well, I have all my stuff in the back." That same day, like, I was like, "No, girl, let me go. I'm gonna hook this place up." We revamped her place, and it looked so different. Like, it was
Yeah.
so pretty. Like, you can actually, I'm like, "You need to put mannequins here in the front. You need to open these curtains. You need to, set up a shelf and hang up all your clothes. Let people know you're here."
Yeah.
And she did just that. And I was so happy that she let me, because most people won't let you. They're like,
Yeah.
"Well, no, this is
Who
what's
do you
worked for
think you
me."
are?
Yeah, like, why are
coming in
you?
here and changing my stuff?
And the fact that she allowed me to do that, we were both so excited. Like, I love doing stuff like that. So I redid her place, and it was just more like, she's like, "Well, let me pay you." I'm like, "I don't do it for the money. Like, I get so much satisfaction to just sit down and see your place, like, revamped. And
Yeah.
now you're able to do more and advertise more, take pictures of your stuff to bring people in, because now people are going to want to come in and look at the new space.
Right.
So the fact that I have people around me that have allowed me to give you, my input on things that you can do to better your business, to me, that means a lot, because
Yeah.
I've had people who I've tried to help, and they no longer talk to me. And I'm like, and that's okay. That's okay. To me, I feel like you never, you never, I think you meet the right people in life. It's just bad timing sometimes. And that's
Yeah.
just the way I've always looked at it.
Well, and it's that place where, like, I guess I've always had the skills that I had,
Mhm.
right? But tell me why Nadine, up till now, I'm very involved with who I am with right now. But Nadine saw skills on me. They were like, "Oh yeah, that's Myrna, whatever. Like, she's there." And then I got here to this location that's like, "Oh my God, Myrna's here. She does this, she does that. Oh my God, she's so right." So the thing about it is that hay gente que te sabe value for what you have.
Yeah.
And there's people, because they're so limited on their thinking, that they can't even see it
Yeah.
in front of them, right? And so I think that's kind of what it is, like, because it's like three of us right now. Like, we freaking value you, and we love you exactly the way you are, with everything she has to offer. And we talk a lot about her mom. That's why I really wanted her to talk about it. I know it's hard for her, but every time we sit down and talk to you, like, it's something that we can take back.
Mhm.
And we genuinely love that. And so
And that comes with age too. That's what I tell Myrna. I'm like, the older you get, the
I feel like she
wiser.
did her dirties like me.
The wiser you become, and it's, you have more advice to give, because we've lived, through so much.
Yeah.
You've lived through stuff, I've lived through stuff. And even though I had, like, a really great, like, upbringing, that I'd like to think I did, at least, like, I had a very loving home, my mom, my dad. I was a rebellious teenager, I think, because I had it all. But I feel like, you learn things along the way, which now I look back and I'm like, "Oh my goodness," like, I had a crazy upbringing.
You had a whole crazy life. I mean, if we were here to break it down, y'all would be shocked, because she doesn't represent that at all.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
your past is your past. Tú eres quien eres ahorita.
Yes.
And you stand firm on that. And I love that, because you just keep growing from that. You keep evolving from that. And you're right, it's all that wisdom.
Mhm.
Because even though she did have a really nice childhood, from what you expressed, there was so many things that happened after that it was like, okay, it's a done deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't want that to be what, defines you, or so I'm like, I don't want, that's the past. I mean, I've had something that I've been dealing with for the last 30 years, that basically, which I talked to you about. So
Yeah.
Friday was the last of it, hopefully. And so, but it's just the past keeps coming
Your
back.
strength's gonna to be involved. Okay, I don't care if you're sober or not. We're going. Yeah, because honestly, like closing that chapter and being like, that's it. I'm moving forward. Yeah, es un peso que te vas a quitar de encima.
Yes,
like,
yes.
No. And these are the wins. These are the wins because you overcame that. Like that's overcoming. And
that's what drives you to want to become successful. You're like, I don't want to be that, or so, and it's tough. And I know you and I have discussed about like entrepreneurship and people like that are out there trying to make it, and I'm like, man, I'm not I want to tell you guys, like, I'm not all for everybody jumping on the entrepreneurship bandwagon, because it's not for everybody. It is very tough, and that's one of the things, like, I tell my kids, because my son's like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, don't, figure it out, because there's people who have actually committed suicide because they have financial issues, because they don't have enough to pay their overhead, and it becomes so stressful. And I can't stress that enough to everybody. Like, people are like, oh, I'm going to start my own business. Save money, figure it out. You got to save money, have a cushion for at least 2 years, and then jump into it, because a lot of the times what happens is people just go all in, and it's very difficult.
I think it's like that. It was like a trend, I guess. Like, everybody miró como se miraban las realtors, like pictures, while you're in this house or whatever. But like, do you understand the hustle that goes into that? Like,
it's a lot.
And the people that you need to work with, the patience that you have to have. Like, people are like, oh, I'm gonna go get my realtor license, and you would think that's the hardest part. No, homegirl, like, there's something way much after that, and people don't get that. Igual con entrepreneur, like, puedes empezar aquí, pero that's another thing. I don't really think that you should see entrepreneurship as a hobby, porque then it's just gonna stay as a hobby.
No.
So, like, if you're planning to do that, it's great, do your extra money. But if you're planning to jump in hardcore, because it's gonna require a lot. Like,
and jump in knowing that, like, it's not for everybody, and not everybody's gonna make it out the way a lot of people did. They're not gonna all have the same outcome. Some people quit halfway through because it's not for everybody. I think the first year when I started, it was one of the hardest things that I had to do. I mean, I was taking my kids' paychecks, and I'm like, where's your check? Like, how much is your check? Because I have to pay the girls at the office. And, it was one of the hardest things. And there was times when I literally wanted to give up. But I was like, I can't, it's just, I have people that are depending on me. So giving up wasn't an option. I think I was like bald headed for like a whole year because my hair was literally falling out from the stress. But, I kept on, and I'm like, I can't, there was no way I was going to give up. I was like, I don't care what I have to do. I will sell everything I own, just to buy me some time. And that's sometimes what you have to do. You have to,
you gotta motivate
yourself. I'm like, I don't know how I've done it. If you ask me, would you be able to do it all over again? I probably would say no, and just say, geez, like, I'd go work a 9 to 5 and be okay. There's people who work 9 to 5s and they're absolutely comfortable.
Este weekend tuvimos un ugly sweater party. Anyways, we caught up with some people that we haven't seen in a while, and they expressed that they just got another job at a better location with better pay, with less, like, having to do less than their previous job, and they work from 6 to 2. I was like, Monday through Friday.
Dang.
I was like, that sounds so good.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, man, like, imagine.
Can you imagine?
Day.
Until you're done.
What they said is like, que le dan un task every day, and they just gotta complete that task. Once they're done for the day. From 6 to 2, and whatever. And I'm just like, full benefits, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like,
dang, let me rethink this entrepreneurship thing.
I know. Because, over here, I don't got hours. Like, man.
But you're structured. You're disciplined. And some people don't have that. Like, I don't. I'm like, I'll get up whenever. I don't care. I check my emails. I make phone calls. I'm like, hey, I need you to schedule this. I need, this patient's coming in. So I can do everything from home in my PJs. I don't have to get up. But there's times where I wish, like, I wish I was able to mingle with like staff, like my coworkers and drink coffee and get yelled at by the boss,
Right.
but
Now we are. And
yeah,
it's
now I'm like,
oh.
and I don't want to do the yelling,
You're
so I'm like, geez, yeah. So,
firing.
oh my God,
How do you like firing people?
so. It's so tough
It's
because I try to give my employees, I try to take care of them, and then one of the things that I was talking to, forget who I was talking to about this, about I went to the what's this guy's name, Mark Cuban, when he did a seminar. One of the things that he talked about was how everybody in his that works for him has a oh my gosh, my brain just went blank. Some interest in his stock, like a piece of stock. All his everybody who works for him. And so he's like, you keep your employees happy and they're not gonna leave you. So my staff, I take very good care of my staff. To me, I'm like, y'all, you guys get paid. You come to work, you get paid. You don't come to work, you're gonna get paid. Like I'm just, and I will fight for them because they're great people. And I'm like, man, these girls go above and beyond to do what they need to. We get our medical records out same day, if not the next day. Like they're on it, and in order to keep them working that way, you have to keep them happy. So I'm like, I take very good care of my girls. I take them to lunch maybe 2-3 times a week. There's just so much that I do for them, um but when it comes to firing, like I'm like, if I'm going all in for you guys, like I expect the same in return. I don't want, hey, I'm calling in today, I can't come in, because at that point it's like I have to make that decision, and it's like it's very difficult for me because I'm like, man, I was taking care of you, thinking like
this you feel betrayed.
Yeah, and it's hard, But when I do go in there and fire them, I'm just like, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you should have thought about that before.
And that's the thing, you have to like look out. You can't have emotions involved. Like
which sucks, yeah.
Yeah, like you have to put those on the side. But in reality, we wouldn't even be at this point if you wouldn't be messing up. Like, so I totally get it. I hate it, but it's one of those things that we're not gonna lose all these contracts because of you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then todos quedan sin comer.
Exactly. I know that's one of the things that Mark Cuban said. He was like, the first thing you need to learn when you start your business is hire slow and fire quick. Take your time to hire somebody that, is going to, that truly genuinely has the best interest of the company at heart, and then fire them as soon as they mess up. Because if you don't, it's going to start messing up your business because you're like, well, we'll give them another chance. And then chance after chance after chance that they've been given, they're still doing the same thing. And that just,
and it creates bad habits.
Yeah.
Porque honestamente, yo tengo like officers that come from other companies, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, my officers look legit. Like, they look like cops all the time.
I saw them. I'm like, ooh.
But, like, we got alguien que los rentó, un officer, and they came in with a pistol and a flashlight. And I was like, what the heck is this? And I paid really good for this. And it was like, man, you know what? Different owners, different expectations.
Are they supposed to bring their own stuff with them, or?
Yeah, so everybody.
Really?
So with officers, they invest in themselves. So es como like, es igual con cualquier oficina. Like, si tú tienes an office job, most likely they like to get their, little accessories, anything that makes it comfortable for them, their mouse or whatever it might be, right? But with officers, like, they invest in their safety vests. They invest like their bulletproof vests. They have their duty belts, their guns, their handcuffs, their pepper spray, their flashlights. They have the whole gear. For us, like, we're no longer that small company, so there's something legit that we have to present, and we're giving out quality more than anything now. It's not just, es otro contrato. No, like, we are getting high-end clients, which means our officers need to step
They
up.
can't get there with their little furry handcuffs.
No, unfortunately not.
Right.
But, it's like we have something legit to present.
Yeah, you have
todo
to.
eso es like, ahorita estamos preparando like entrenamientos, workshops, the Christmas party, we give out cameras and stuff.
Oh,
wow. So, yeah, like, we want them to look good, but again, when you show up like that, o con la camisa toda arrugada, or you show up with tennis shoes instead of your boots. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that's I mean, because honestly, they're like the face of, they're representing your company, you know, so you can't have an officer with a freaking pistol that shoots out a freaking flag that says bang. So, you know, yeah, you do have to look at all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
and then it goes, but that's what I'm talking about, guys. And which brings me to the last point before this whole thing, porque se nos va el tiempo de volada con Diana, no, hombre.
I know. Like, do we have to
Olga
finish
says
in an hour?
hi, beautiful. So, with the goal, this is something we talk about a lot. And honestamente, like, I did think about it, but I really no le puse atención until I spoke with you about it. So, my goal was to get my company as big as it is right now, and I continue to want it to get a little bit bigger. And right now, as CEO of the company, I do take a lot of managing, and I want to say that you're in the same role right now. Would you say you're kind of on the CEO role, or is it more just the owner side?
I mean, yeah, I own the clinics. I really hate to give myself a title like that. Just because with me, it's more of a team effort, like along with my doctor, you know.
Yeah.
So I do look at it more like a like a partnership, even though they have no interest in my offices. They just come and work. Um, but to me, I'm, you know, I don't.
And this is where I'm going with this, is that that's not the end goal to even be in there. Like, the end goal is que esté manejándose sola.
Yeah.
And not even be in the company. Like, you walk in and everybody's looking at you like, who are you? Like,
yeah,
because you're the one over there in the back end, like,
just
yeah.
But I mean, I think, you know, it's like I tell my doctor, your job is just as important as mine, because if I didn't, you know, bring in the patients, you wouldn't have to be here. You know, so I think we all need each other. So I never look at it like I'm better than you, or, you know, you're no. Like, it's like we're here together. We're making, this is not going to work without me, and it's not going to work without you. And I need you as much as you need me. And I don't ever want to make anybody feel like I'm more, or, you know, hey, don't forget, hey, I'm the CEO of this company. So, and then you know, it just, I don't. So more of a partnership type of deal.
Them. But I mean, on the long run, like,
in the long run.
Yeah, porque esto es algo que, so what I'm trying to get at is that Diana talks about not being involved. Like, you're stepping away, like your business is running without you having to be involved. Yeah. And like, I generally, se me prendió, como que se me pegó, it was the fact that if you go into entrepreneurship, sometimes you're stuck doing the work. You know, like being in the business, staying in the business. But that's not what the ultimate goal should be. No. It should be like que un día tú te puedas retirar del negocio
and it'll run itself. Yeah. And then and that is the goal. I mean, and there is a system in place that at some point honestly, I think I haven't been in the office. I don't need to be in the office. You know, that's what I have my girls there for. That's what the doctor's there for. You know, if I need to come in and look at paperwork or sign off on something, then I'll come in. But I mean, really, I'm not really there unless a patient wants to see me or meet me.
This is what I was talking about when we started, guys. That's why I said I inspired to be what she's doing. So she's already doing it. Okay, so lo que tú estás diciendo es que ya lo estás haciendo. So at this point,
but it's taken a lot, because it's established. Now it's 4 years of marketing. Now we're on Google. Now we have attorneys from Austin, San Antonio, Houston sending us business because of all the work that I've put in, the legwork, the marketing. It's just so much that goes with that. So I think I'm at a point where, yes, if I'm able to step back a little bit, or if I'm able to take 2 weeks off to take a vacation, I'm able to do that because I've already put the work in, you know? And so ultimately, I guess one day I plan on maybe having just somebody do the marketing for me and do all of that. So like you said, we can step back and just watch everything
Wait,
go.
girl, you're already doing it. So like, she just came back from California. Were you in California?
Yeah.
She was in Disneyland over there.
Oh, I
with
know.
Javi, pobrecito. He was getting tortured. He wasn't taking the pictures right. Get it together.
I'm like, Javi. Yeah.
But my point is that right now she's talking about partnerships, okay, guys? So this is what I'm saying. Like, ya ni está en el nivel donde está involucrada con el negocio, because you said it's established, it's running,
Yeah.
it's going. So now you're talking about partnerships. You're talking about, okay, like, how can I sit here and maybe open another location,
Mhm.
and for that to get established
Yes.
and run? Like, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
guys. Like, imagínate que esos sean tus problemas, o me tengo que levantar temprano porque voy a ir a un show a hablar sobre mi negocio.
Yeah. I'm like, oh
Let
my
me start my
gosh.
Starbucks real quick. All right, you know, let me sit with this meeting with this doctor, because we're going to talk about a partnership, maybe to open another location,
Mhm.
or maybe see how we can implement different schedules, whatever it might be. Or let me take this call because this client and so state or whatever, they are offering me new clients out here.
Mhm.
Like, yo, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like, pero como dices, todo el trabajo que tú
Yeah.
hiciste, it took a lot of moments.
Yeah, because
where
imagine you in 4 years, like somebody told you, you're doing something in a year that some of us haven't been able to do in 30 years.
Right.
You are getting into doors that these people only dream about getting into, that their time has passed. You know, to
Yeah.
them, they're like, dang, we're already on our way out, and we were never able to accomplish that. And here you come in, kicking doors in and getting all this business and people to start doing business. Imagine you in 4 years, you're not gonna have to knock on doors anymore. You're not gonna have to do any kind of marketing,
I'm
because
receiving that.
you're-
Manifest it, girl. Keep talking.
girl,
I like it.
that business is gonna speak for itself. You're gonna
Yeah.
be established. People are gonna come look for you. You no longer have to do a lot of the work, because now you build a name for yourself. And
Right.
that's, you know, I think what my goal was, what I've done, what I've been doing, and I'm going to continue to do it, to where hopefully, like I said, I don't have to go marketing. I don't have to take treats to offices and, hey, don't forget about us, we're over here. Like, the business is just going to come. I think that's everybody's goal.
Love that.
And hopefully I'll get there
Vanessa
someday.
says, love it. Of course, girl. Like,
Hey,
ya
like
sabes.
a TikTok. I'm so used to TikTok. Thank you, Vanessa.
Girl, pues terminando este show, estamos ahorita en los nuevos estudios de Radio Metroplex.
Yes.
En Arlington, Texas, la capital del deporte, el espectáculo y el entretenimiento.
Sorry.
You know, I love the fact that she comes out to Arlington. Like, me la estoy tratando de robar de Dallas, okay? I'm not gonna lie, all right? So, she was eating lunch with the mayor of Arlington.
Last
she was
week,
with
yes.
city council y todo eso. She has no business doing over here, pero
Mm-mm.
I love that you got to hear all the new projects.
Yes.
Which is something that not everybody gets to hear.
It's super exciting. I'm super excited.
So, are you ready for World Cup? Like, are you planning to do anything with that? Like,
I don't know. I'm not sure where all they're going, but I think they're going to LA too, no? I think they're going to LA here in New York. I don't know.
No, aquí va a ser World Cup. So, aquí en Arlington van a haber 18 countries.
No way.
So,
I haven't even been following up with that. I don't follow up with any.
So there's gonna be a lot of car crashes, because you know the tightness, the construction. So I'm just saying, like 18 countries, girl, you better have.
Okay, I'll have my little Mini Cooper wrap by then, hopefully, and just drive around. But wow, that is so crazy. Yeah. When is it?
It's 2026.
Oh, I have time. I have time to wrap cars.
You got 1 year to get ready.
To wrap my cars.
To do all your branding y todo. Por eso les digo a la gente, like, you need to get out here, girl. Yeah. Like, it's gonna be crazy packed. Y por eso están haciendo todo lo que están haciendo.
Oh my goodness.
So 18 countries, guys, aquí en este little.
How exciting! And to know that we were able to hear that firsthand, you know, of what's coming. Yeah, so I'm excited.
Well, Diana, ¿qué consejos los dejas a nosotros, the little people that are trying to strive like you? Oh. And I'm talking about social media, business, and lifestyle.
You know, honestly, I think everybody should just, if you have a business, talk about your business, promote your business.
Don't be shy.
Yes, don't be shy. I think a lot of the times what happens is people just kind of want to market all over the place to everybody and anybody, and that's not really good business. I think you need to find the specific demographic of people that you want to target, your target audience, focus on them, and I think you're going to start seeing your business blossom and flourish. And yeah, so I always tell everybody that, I'm like, who are you marketing to? What are you talking about? Like, be more specific, target, like I said, figure out who you want as clients, as patients, as customers, and focus on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people will be great business people if they did that.
All right. Yeah, social media.
And social media, I don't know. I just, if I
No,
feel it,
spit out the secret.
I'm like,
Because
if
she
I
went
feel
from
it,
3K to 10K like so quickly. So
yeah.
I need to figure out how
And you
do
know
that.
what? It was just joining people's lives and, interacting
really?
with people and messaging and sending gifts. Like, it was just so much
I
that
didn't
I
know
was
that.
doing. Yeah, so it was like a lot. Like,
So
I was,
you interacted with
yes,
people.
I was on there doing, and that was something that I learned from when I had my boutique. I started collaborating with a lot of people, like sending clothes. I did a collaboration with Bella Bodies. I think she's in Tijuana.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she
yeah,
did she was doing a free mommy makeover and a BB and a gastric sleeve. And so I was like, hey, can I send you $500 worth of clothes to the winner, because obviously they're going to lose all this weight, have a new body. And she's like, jump on it, let's do it. So they started tagging me along to be part of the, to enter. So my Instagram blew up, so I started doing a lot of collaborations with people who already had the following. And I just think you can't be scared. You just go in there and message them, and hopefully they'll, contact you. And enough people did, and I was able to grow my
See,
following.
that's something
So
we don't talk about, guys. I never thought about that.
yeah,
I just didn't.
girl, I reach for the stars, because I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? They
No.
say no. Okay.
Yeah,
But that's okay.
You can go back to sleeping. Okay?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I won't lose sleep over that. But yeah, I think, just keep grinding. As social media is very hard. I think a lot of people think it's like, oh, let me log on and make a few videos. You have to be so consistent, just like with everything else.
Yeah.
And I've just, when I have time, I do it, and then I get into it, and then I'm like, let me record all these videos and just have them saved so I can post when I don't feel like doing it.
Right.
But it takes a lot, and it's a lot of work, but it pays off.
It really does.
It pays off. So
go and find her, guys. You might need to change your tagline now to La Víctima.
Yes,
so
I do. Yeah, so that everything kind of.
This one, I mean, although she is a gold digger, because she's up there trying to get that gold.
Yeah.
But
I have goals. Yeah. I do. I need to change that. That's something that I've been wanting to work on.
We can just
so
go
yeah.
find La Víctima. But I'm sure if you have hashtags with La Víctima on there?
I do.
Yeah. So I'm sure it'll pop up. All right. And what about lifestyle?
Lifestyle? I don't know. I live a very.
Girl, you're always like bien vestida y toda, like bien presentada and everything. What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm very bougie on a budget, so I suggest people just. And one thing I learned when I had my boutique, there's so many women that do not know how to dress for their body. So they would come in and they're like, Diana, style me. And I'm like, girl, I got you. You're going to wear a big old t-shirt, put it off your shoulder. We're going to put a belt on, some big old boots, put your hair in a crazy bun and big hoop. And they're like, I would never. I'm like, no, you're gonna, like, you're good. And you're going to look good, girl. Yeah, so I think I'm more like a minimalist. Like, to me, less is more. And yeah, and I have to thank my mom for that. My mom, like I said, was always very well dressed. She was very elegant. Somebody I've always looked up to, and
Yeah.
So yeah.
Honor to her. She's not here no more, but Diana, don't let her die out. Like, you genuinely bring
never.
her.
Yeah.
And we need more of that. Like, honestamente, y es la razón que me emocionaba traerte a ti, because we need more mother figures that encourage us and elevate us, and unfortunately we don't all have that. So con tu propia amistad, con tu social media, you portray her, And so we love that. Like, we want more of her, so keep bringing her
Yes.
out. But
Thank
Diana,
you.
it was a pleasure to have
Yes,
you. This
I'm
was
like,
fun. We need to do this more often.
yes.
And so stay tuned, guys. Make sure you follow her on Facebook. She will update you with any events or maybe any way that you can help out with her events. Maybe become a vendor or maybe sponsor something. Like, you can always come out because she truly does do it by herself. Pero ¿por qué no podemos agregarle más, right?
Yes.
So let's collab, guys. Muchas gracias. Today we end the show with saying, keep on your hustle because you never know what's up next.
Yes.
Bye. Oh, Vanessa said, super exciting.
I forgot to give my brother a shout out. It's his birthday.
Are we still on?
Put your hands up in the air. 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 Put your hands up in the air.
I turn nothing into something. I work hard and I play. I be chillin', but I'm business. Call me boss lady. Don't be jealous. My hustle, cause I'm killing all day. I be flexing my muscles. I don't care what